Well, good afternoon or morning or whenever it is that you're watching this. This is a webinar that actually a recording at this point that whose purpose is to um, show you, give you some background and give you an overview of the. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the webinar. Glad to have you. Um, so let me just start over. So this webinar this afternoon is to give you an overview of the new Utah Model Principal Evaluation System that we just completed work on just in the last month or so. Once again, this is a model evaluation system. This is not something that all districts are expected to use. It is done because of what state law reads and what board rule reads about creating a model evaluation system. We've created this system so that it can help those districts that don't have the capacity or the finances to purchase or create a principal evaluation system of their own. This is also just a principal evaluation system. It's not meant to evaluate district office administrators, although it can be used for that with some modifications. There are some districts that have created district administrator evaluation systems. I don't think that we are intending to do that from our office, although I don't know whether that's going to happen in the future with our emphasis on leadership that we now have. It's possible, but those districts that already have district office administrator evaluation systems, two that I know of, are Salt Lake City School District, and if you contact Logan Hall, who is the person there who is in charge of evaluation, he has recently completed work on a district office administrator evaluation system. So Logan would have some information and some helps, and perhaps would even be willing to share his entire system with you. Davis School District also has a system that they have created. The contact person there is Suzanne Cottrell at the Davis District Office, and you can find all of their information by Googling Evaluate Davis. Their system is based on a 4-point kind of system, but it aligns very carefully with the Utah Educational Leadership Standards and with the Utah Effective Teaching Standards. One thing that's interesting about Davis's system as well is that they even have an evaluation system for superintendents that may be of interest to many superintendents out there, whose evaluations are quite often just based on conversations with the board. That while that may be perfect for a lot of you, a more robust evaluation system with opportunities for personal growth may be more your style or more what you want to do with evaluation with superintendents. So that's the preamble. Let me dive into what we're going to be doing today. First of all, this new evaluation system, the model evaluation system, is online, and I want to show you how to get to it. So I am going to share my screen with you. I'm going to share this particular screen, and then I'm going to show you how to get there. So if you go to the Utah State Board of Education website, which is schools.utah.gov, and if you then go to schools and educators, which is one of the buttons that are there, if you click on that, then you can click on educator effectiveness, which is on the left-hand side. You can see that highlighted on the screen. So you click on that. And then after you get to educator effectiveness, which you can see down about halfway down the page. Then if you scroll down, you can see, first of all, the effective teaching and learning standards, and that is where you find the Utah State Standards for Educational Leadership. That's where those reside, and those are the standards that were adopted by the board in May of 2018. So that's one document that is part of this system of model principal evaluation. But then if you go down a little bit further, you see evaluations. And first of all, you can see there's educator professional performance, and there are three items there. The first is the Utah Model Principal Evaluation System Handbook, which has information on what the principal evaluation system is supposed to do, and some information on how to administer the evaluation system. And we're going to go through all of that during this webinar today. So we'll look at all of those pieces as much as is possible. And then right underneath that are the Utah the Utah Model Principal Evaluation System rubrics, which we are also going to be looking at today. What you might want to do is just click on those so that you can download them and have them available so that you can take a stronger look at them down the line. And I would, of course, recommend that you save them on your own computer so that you don't have to go looking for them every time you need them. All right. So that's where you find the things that those two things, those three things actually, the handbook, the rubric, and the standards, the three things that you really are going to want to look for. So we're going to go back to our PowerPoint, and I'm going to start the PowerPoint, and we're going to dive into this. If you have any questions, you can just put them in the chat screen. I've got that open now on my screen. You can put questions in there, or if you just want to turn on your microphone, you can ask questions in that way as well. And please don't hesitate to do that. This recording is going to be put on our website so that it's available to everyone out there. So I've actually already one slide in. So like I said, this is the Utah Model Principal Evaluation System. This is an overview of that system. The authority to do the system comes from board rule, you can see it there, R277531, and that's paragraph 4 and number 1, the number 1 item underneath that, which says what you see it says there, that we're supposed to develop a model educator evaluation system. And we did that for teachers a long time ago. The people who were here before me never did get around to creating a model principal or administrator evaluation system. There was one online that was created by Steve Diamond from the Canyon School District, and we're very grateful for Steve's work on that. Steve is now the Human Resources Director in Canyon School District, but that was the only one available. I want to just say that you are not required in your school districts to use this system. You can use the system. You can modify the system, adapt the system to make it work better for your circumstances. You can use a system that has been created by another school district. You can use a system that is modified from another school district. You can purchase a system from one of many places that have administrator evaluation systems available. Any of those things, of course, are absolutely fine. The one caveat that you always have to keep in mind is that the system has to be aligned to the Utah standards for educational leadership. It has to be aligned to those. Now, in some ways, that's not too difficult because the Utah the standards that we have, the educational leadership standards, are aligned to the PCEL standards, the professional standards for educational leadership, which were created by a coalition of educational leadership groups around the country. They included people from higher education, from the principals associations, from industry, from many different groups, and are a very comprehensive set of standards. Our standards are not exactly the same as the PCEL standards. They're based on the PCEL standards and our previous standards. But if you find an evaluation system that's based on the PCEL standards that makes sense to you, then chances are it's going to be aligned to our system. The one thing that would have to happen is that someone from our office would have to come and see your system and verify that it is aligned to our system. All right? So that's the purpose and the authority of why we can do what we've done and why we've done it. We weren't planning on creating an administrator evaluation system. We weren't planning on doing that. But some of the smaller school districts, especially some of the rural school districts, said, well, we don't have any money to do anything with that. We don't know what to do with that. Can you please help us out? So we went back and looked at the law. It tells us we develop a model system, and so we did.